All right, hi guys, good evening. So, uh, I'll keep this live session very short, and the reason I wanted to do this live was because I wanted to talk about two three things. I have been getting some messages on Instagram and Facebook, and usually I'm not able to respond to those individual messages. So I try to create either a video or come live and answer those questions. So let's see if I can do that. Now, first thing is that INI-CET was announced a couple of days back, and now you all must have read that notification where they are saying that the NEET exam, the notification about that exam has been cancelled. We do not know whether it would be postponed, whether they would change the name of that exam. We do not know anything about it. And this is happening just a couple of days later after that INI-CET announcement. Now, one thing I understand from these recent developments is that this year the results would be very unpredictable. Reason being, all these changes that are happening, they would have a significant impact on the psyche of the students who are preparing for the exams. Usually we do not like it when the flow of our preparation gets interrupted. And this year, this is what has been happening throughout. From COVID to moving the preparation to online modes, and then this INI-CET thing, abolishing the PGI and the JIPMER and the enhanced examination, and now this thing with about NEET. So a large number of students are getting unsettled. I know this because I have been getting a lot of messages, and we can just extrapolate that, and we can safely presume that a huge percentage of students must be feeling troubled or distressed. Now, as I said, that has its advantages and disadvantages. For example, say you are a person who has started late, who has just started preparing the exam for the examination, or who started preparing examination pretty late in the year. Now you have a much better chance of still getting selected than what would have happened if all these developments had not taken place. Reason being, the amount of psychological imbalance that these changes are creating, that would also play a huge role in the final score that students are going to get in the examination. So somebody who has been preparing from Jan till say August, and who got really unsettled by all these changes, who stopped studying, who got depressed, who started feeling that I don't know what is happening, I cannot control what is happening around me, that student is likely to get out of that race, and that opens that slot for you. So that is one good thing, that there is still a lot of scope. And of course, somebody who has been preparing from the very beginning, it is really unfair to that student that all these things are happening and he or she is feeling unsettled. So I have two advices. For those of you who have been studying from the very beginning, from January, you have to ignore whatever is happening at all cost. No matter when they take the examination, no matter what do they call this examination. Say a wild thought, say they say that next will happen in 2021. How does it matter? It does not matter at all. That the same change will be applicable to every single student. So even if they go as far as changing the name of the examination or even the pattern of the examination, it should not matter to you. You have to ignore all these things. These are just noises. Somebody is creating a conspiracy, somebody is conspiring and trying to trouble the students who have been studying from the very beginning. But the onus is on you to not get disturbed. If you have been studying from day one, if you have been studying from Jan or Feb, ensure that you do not get troubled by all these things. Ignore all these things. Do not even listen to live sessions like the one that is happening right now, because even sessions like these may be unsettling for many people. Do not go for videos. Do not message your faculties ki kya hoga. I got one message. One student messaged me, and he or she was asking that, sir, my birthday is on 31st of January. Would the exam be held on 31st of January? How would I know? How would anybody know? And how does that matter? Right? I was a bit surprised, but such kind of messages are coming. Somebody is saying that I have to go for some vacations. What if they put the examination on that day? These things do not matter. They are immaterial. You should not be giving importance to these news. And you should not be looking out for news on this topic. Every video made on this topic, every post put on this topic most of them, at least I can say that, are likely to disturb you further. The best thing is to ignore it completely. And if you're a student who has started late, right? What I said just now was about students who started in the Jan or Feb month. But if you're a student who started late, this is a golden opportunity for two reasons. We do not know when the exam will be announced. And secondly, as I said, many people are getting really unsettled, and that is opening up the slots. So even now, if you start studying hard, even now if you start burning the midnight oil, even now if you start saying that okay, I'll study like I have never studied before, trust me, it can happen. Trust me, you can still get a good rank. Trust me that you can still get into the college of your choice. As I have been saying multiple times in the last 1 year, students, entrance examination is not only about knowledge. Entrance examination is as much about the temperament. Entrance examination is as much about soaking the pressure. It is difficult. Let's accept it. No normal human being can study consistently 10 hours a day or 11 hours a day for 1 year. It simply cannot happen. The difference is how we deal with these problems. If you are not able to study for a few days, some students are like, sab kharab ho gaya, the rhythm is gone, the speed is gone, and what to do, and they start wasting more time in that state of panic. There are other students who tell themselves that okay, things are not going my way, it happens, and let us see what I can do about it. Now this second student has a huge edge over the first student as far as temperament is concerned. Even if the first student had studied for more days or more months, this second student still holds a chance. So as much as knowledge is important, equally it is important that you carry yourself properly. You do not get too emotional about it, you do not get too anxious about it, and most importantly, you limit the information about all these peripheral things happening in your life. I want to quote one person in this regard. There's a very famous book. I'm not sure how many of you have read it. In medical school, we don't read anything apart from our textbooks and all these books about the entrance examination. But there's a very famous book which is titled as 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It is written by an author named Stephen Covey. Very, very famous book. In that book, Stephen Covey talks about a concept where he discusses about circle of concern and circle of influence. So what is circle of concern? Things that we are concerned with. For example, today you may be concerned with whether NEET exam will happen or next exam will happen. You might also be concerned with what would be the pattern of INI-CET examination. You might also be concerned who is going out with whom. You might also be concerned whether Modi ji is better or whether Rahul Gandhi ji is better or whether Kejriwal ji is better. You might also be concerned whether Donald Trump will win or Joe Biden will win. You might also be concerned whether Deepika Padukone actually took drugs or is it all a conspiracy. The problem is, out of all these things, you cannot do anything about any of them. Neither you can do anything about US elections, nor can you do anything about Deepika Padukone, nor can you do anything about Bihar elections. Here comes the concept of circle of influence. Things that you can really influence. Things that you can really do something about. For example, how much marks will you get in the final examination? How much marks will you get in the entrance examination? What rank are you gonna get? How many videos can you complete? How many questions can you complete? This is all your circle of influence. So for productive people, their circle of concern and the circle of influence is almost similar. They are worried about only those things that they can do something about. And for non-productive people, the circle of concern is huge and circle of influence is small. They are concerned about everything, but they cannot do anything about it. Now this INI-CET examination and the so-called next examination and the postponement of the examination, this all lies in the circle of concern, but you cannot do anything about it. If you spend hours discussing about it, if you spend hours sending messages about it, if you spend hours speculating about it, all you are doing is you are converting into a non-productive person. And this is not good. Anyways, we are almost at the end of the preparation stage and we cannot afford to lose time. So every time you have a thought in your mind about anything, ask yourself a simple question. Is it in my circle of influence or not? If the answer comes out as no, just drop that topic there and then. We have to be very intelligent in the way we use our time, because that is what is going to determine our results 2 months from now or 3 months from now. Finally, students, I made a video about this, but I want to just have a little bit of discussion on this topic. in my case, when I was preparing for entrance examination for All India examination way back in it was 2010, yeah, 2010. I had gone to US. I was doing USMLE, and I did appear for step one, got a good score, cleared CS examination. But in the end of December 2010, I came back to India. I was not liking it there in US, and my exam was, I think, on 5th of Feb or 8th of Feb or something like that. But I got like exactly 40 days for my preparation. In the beginning I was like कि ये हो नहीं सकता, this is simply impossible. Even people told me that yeah, everybody studies for 1 year, how can you even think of clearing the examination in 40 days? And I also thought the same thing in the beginning. But then later on I said to myself कि let me give it a shot, and let me give it an honest shot. I'll do the best that I can do. I'll study so much that I will break all my own individual records, and I'll not listen to anybody. I just went crazy. I'm sorry, I should not use the word crazy as a psychiatrist, but you understand the emotion behind that. I went completely berserk, studying day, night, evening. I forgot everything else. I remember I got so much immersed into the preparation. Every afternoon I would order the same food from the same restaurant, because they would take like 20 minutes to deliver the food, and the food was biryani. It would take very less time to eat it. So for those 40 days I ate only biryani every afternoon. And I called my mummy and my papa. I went into the hostel and I told them, you do not call me. I'll call you whenever I get time. I called my best friends. Do not call me. If I get time, I will call you. One of my very dear friend was getting married in that period only. I apologized to him that, dude, I love you. You are my best friend. But these 40 days must go to the preparation. I want to forget everything else. And I did not go to his wedding. And in 40 days I was able to clear the examination. I always wanted to get psychiatry, and I did get psychiatry. What I'm trying to tell you that even in these 40-50 days periods, if your preparation is extremely focused, and if you go berserk, that is the only word that I can think of. If you just push the limits, miracles can happen, and they do happen. And guys, there's this motivational stuff I have been doing for a few years. Every year after the examination, I get many messages. People tell me that, sir, I saw your video and I started studying very hard, and finally I did clear the examination. Where to come with sweets? This happens every time. I'm not just making up this stuff. This really happens, and this happens for the simple reason that when you have less time, you go for very high yield subject. You focus on last 3 or 4 year examinations, and everything is fresh in your memory. Unfortunately, in our in MBBS and in the medical field, it's just mostly the rote memory. Now exams are getting better, the concepts are also there, but still a vast majority of exam is about rote memory. And if you have just dumped a lot of information in your head in last 40-45 days, the chances that you would be able to recall it are pretty good. And that is why all these upsets happen in the entrance examination. You must have heard that everybody said कि उसका तो exam में selection नहीं होगा, but he got selected. These things happen every year, and you might be that person who finally gets selected contrary to everybody's expectation. So just summarizing what I am trying to say. First of all, do not think that it is too late. You can definitely clear the examination if you go ahead with the right strategy. Second, do not waste time on things that are beyond your control. INICT, NEET, next, ये information, वो notification, all that nonsense. It is nonsense, nothing else. सबको ignore करो. Do not give any importance to all those things. And third, lock yourself in the room, and for the next whatever days are left, 40-45 days, the only thing that should come in your mind is the examination. When you get up in the morning, think about the day when the result will come. When you are taking bath, think about the day when the result will come. When you are having lunch, think about the day when the result will come. See, when you get so preoccupied with the result and the examination, miracles happen. You get so much energized, you get so much motivated. And with every subject that you finish, say you tell yourself that I'll finish the subject in 3 days. Only important things, only questions from the last year and the related material. If you're using one of the rapid revision videos or similar content given by other platforms, if you focus on only those things, once you're able to finish a subject, you get that high, and you can see the writing on the wall. Okay, I was able to do one subject. Let's walk to the second subject. Let's jump to the second subject. That high is amazing. I think no amount of cocaine and cannabis can give you that high. Not that I have used cocaine or cannabis, but there is nothing. There is no feeling better than the feeling of having slogged for 11 hours a day and then going to bed. I still remember my 40 days when I would go to my bed at 1 in the night after having studied for 12 or 13 hours a day. It was bliss. It was amazing. I still crave for that feeling, feeling of satisfaction, that feeling of having done something, that feeling of having pushed your limits. It is amazing. And guys, everybody should experience that feeling. It is magical, and that magical feeling takes you towards your destination too. So guys, in the end, the fight is not over. We have to take the preparation to the last day, avoid and ignore all the nonsense that is happening around you, and fight for your dream. Best wishes. God bless you.